But yes, I did just expel you. All right. How dare I expel you? Well, I don't know how I dare expel you, but I will say this. I do indeed dare generating a new world. All right. Now that I'm 100% back, we have to figure out what kind of world we're going to generate. Pretty much. Well, at least all the dwarves of that faction. That's my headcanon. All right, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I kind of just like leaving everything as medium and then just increasing natural savagery by 1. I kind of just like doing that. Maybe let's increase beasts as well. My kitty's got stuff to say. So yeah, we'll increase number of beasts, and we'll leave natural savagery at high, and we'll leave everything else on medium. Sound good? I don't really want to do a large world just because it takes too long to load. Hell, even medium worlds take too long to load. So, also for those of you who want, when I upload the VOD for the last world, it'll be in a Google Drive description or link in the description. So if anybody wants to download that, you can. Why? Because that's too easy. I don't want to be swimming in gold. That's actually just boring. Ooh, we've got like a big, like, almost Australia-like northern continent up here. Check this out. There's also a necromancer tower popping up on it, and humans. No real dwarves up here, though. I kind of like this top right area. This far north thing. We got a lot of northern lakes. Lots of humans settling up there, too. So, chat, who actually understands what's going on in this portion of the game? Because to me, it's too damn cool. It's fair if you don't understand what's going on. Also, I'm going to do something I haven't done in a really long time. I'm going to make a Reddit thread for this stream. It's because I haven't done this in a while. If anybody wants a link to the thread, it's right here. I kind of want to do deserts, because I haven't done any deserts in a while. Boring but neat. Where's the little island with the volcano? I didn't see that pop up. Seems like all of the dwarves are down in the far bottom down by the glaciers. It was under Australia? I was over on Reddit at the time. He loves swimming in gold and silver and building stupid shit. Fair enough. I did that once with my volcano fort, and there was just too much stuff everywhere. If that's possible, there was too much shit everywhere. No, we're starting a new fortress. So, Silvertongue, while you were gone, we got attacked by a were-capybara. I was pretty sure that nobody got infected, but only one dwarf died. Turns out a dwarf got infected, and we went down to 7 dwarves from 20. And because we're not going to get any migrants, we're just generating a new world. So yeah, that's all. New world, new stories. We're gonna do 250 years, or maybe around 200. I don't know. And then we'll explore a little bit. I like the idea. I like the look of that little desert right there. There's a whole lot of dwarves around there, but there's like a little kind of desert area. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's kind of like in the middle bottom, right next to the little bit of purple. There's kind of a like those all the brown tildes. They're kind of like this big open desert area, probably scorching hot too. There's a really big dwarven area down the bottom right. There's actually quite a few necromancer towers. I'm counting 1, 2. There's also one in the far north. I kind of want to be on that island with all the humans, although I don't know how much dwarven activity is actually going on up there. We could pause and take a peek around if you guys want. Let me know if you want me to pause. So yeah, we're gonna be here for a little bit while it generates. Assuming it doesn't crash, which it's currently trying to do. That would kind of suck if it crashed. So while time passes by, chat, how are we all doing? That's the important question. How are we all doing? TwitchCon is getting terrifyingly close. In like 10 days. HoboKeb will be up here in Vancouver. So I might be doing some stream stuff with my moderator. What I really want to do is I want to do like something really supremely stupid. I want to do like a just chatting stream and do like... We threw around the idea about doing Kitchen Nightmares bingo. That might happen. That's definitely an option. Or one of the options on the table. And we have a few other options as well. But Kitchen Nightmares Bingo's up there. You know what? Let's pause and take a poke around. Peek around. Just give it a second. It is pausing, I hope. This part of the game is like the hardest on your poor computer. Does not care. On the Market City in your Minecraft sim? Okay. Or a busy city? You should, like, start it off as a small rural town and build it up to a busy city. That sounds pretty entertaining. Time should be pausing. Let's try again. Really? It didn't make it. Shit. It's not pausing. Still going. There we go. It paused. All right, let's see what we got. It's a pretty large world, actually. Oh, I see. I found the little island with the volcano. That is kind of interesting. The Hills of Binding, the Island of Velvet. It's a good name. I like that name a lot. There's like no dwarves up here, but I kind of like the idea of being up here. The problem with being up here, though, is would we be able to get... My cat's misbehaving. Would we be able to get any sort of migrants? Because it looks like it's just humans up here, yeah? Ooh, this is interesting. There's a couple lakes over here. Again, very kind of... There actually is like some dwarven settlements over here. Over 1 billion historical figures? Really? I mean, we're at 34,360. The Lakes of Glitter. I'd really like to do a lake fort, because my last few forts have not had enough lakes, in my opinion. And I really like lakes. I like lakes. It's a lot of islands. Cool. Yeah, let's continue it. Continue the generating. I really want some dwarves to make it over onto this little kind of continent with these humans. I mean, the lake is clearly leaking. We need some beavers to come patch it up. Makes perfect sense to me, Animal. I don't know about you. Makes perfect sense to me. Either or, yeah. Both could work. Time to call FG. FG, we need you to undam some stuff. This is the really quiet point in the music. Maybe I'll just skip ahead. Let's just do this. What's this, Animal? Oh, yeah, no, it is indeed time to call FG. It is most certainly time to call FG. Also, hey guys, just a heads up. There's actually a pretty important little Reddit thread here. This isn't for this stream, but this is for that tutorial that I made. A friend of mine made a thread. So if people want to go interact with that thread, that's very helpful. You don't need to, but it's very helpful if you do. Man, we've got a ways to go here, don't we? We've got a ways to go. You're 196. I kind of would like to get up to about 40,000 historical figures if we can pull that off. We hit year 200. There's still no dwarves on this little continent. That makes me kind of sad. Because I really like this continent. I really, really like this continent. M&H, what's up? Or MHN, rather. Sup, nerds, indeed. Yeah. It's a pity the dwarves aren't settling where I want them to settle. I really like this kind of northern continent area, but the game seems to think otherwise. Dwarven boats, that's not how that works. Yep. What are we going for? Well, our last world was... Well, so, okay. We haven't just started. We've been live for 3 hours. We kind of had a series of unfortunate events. I decided to side with the smallest faction in our last world, and kind of maybe accidentally started a civil war, and then started a war with the other Dwarven faction. And over about 4 different forts, we did our best to try and survive until eventually we had to give up with that faction. So rather than joining the other faction, which we were at war with, because it just kind of felt wrong, we've opted to generate a new world. What do I want to start with? I don't know. It's hard to say until the world's kind of done. We're going for medium worlds, so we're at 213 out of 250, so we're getting there. So I will say this, Habitual. I tried that on a separate version of the save file with Staff Diamond, the one that wasn't getting any migrants from its parent faction. So what I did was I started I retired it, and then I started another fortress next to it off stream, and spent about 10 minutes in that fortress, got things going a little bit, and then retired it, and then reclaimed Staff Diamond, and Staff Diamond still didn't get any migrants. So I'd like to do something in desert, because I've done a lot of cold stuff and temperate stuff, but the Forests of Relieving. What? What does that have to do with wild dogs, Listybert? I mean, yeah, that is the name, but... So I would like to do something that's kind of deserty, if possible. And yeah, I think it might just be because we were like, I know that will work. I've been told that works, Habitual, if you're not at war with your parent faction. So if you're just really far away from your parent faction and you're not getting many migrants, it does work to just say you're in a secluded island, just make another fortress next to you, and then you'll get migrants. Oh, I get it. They come by to shit. I understand what you're saying now. I'm understanding the joke. Let's just pause here. I think 225 is good. The Infinite Dimension. That is a really cool world name. The Infinite Dimension. Arustokolomo. Urako Slamo. The Infinite Dimension. That is interesting. I got to admit, that is very interesting. Let's take a peek around. All right, well, let's fly up here. So what the heck are these? Oh, I see. They're haunted jungles. The Jungle of Fright. There isn't really a lot of population up here. This area is just kind of empty. There's a few. Ooh, actually, one of them got destroyed. But earlier when we poked around about 100 years ago, there was 3 dwarven fortresses here, but this one is gone now. So something happened. So a lot of really neat northern lakes up here. Okay, so this area is mostly infested with elves and humans, unfortunately. But like, there's some really cool deserts around here. Well, maybe not hot. The Strong Desert. I guess it's a strong desert. The Desert of Assaults. Interesting. I wonder if we're ever going to have to build, like, toilets for our dwarves. The Full Seas of Coldness. The Full Seeds of Coldness. Still not seeing a huge amount of deserts, except for in like that kind of one spot. That's a mighty big lake right here. Check this out. Or a set of lakes, even. The Lake of Forests. 3 of them, back to back. Not a lot of spooky stuff in here. It's a pretty quiet biome. I might let time pass a little bit longer. The Umber Lakes. The Lakes of Glitter. Chat room, anything catching your guys' eye? There's stuff in here. It's very busy, though. The Dune of Right. Not to be confused with the Doom of Left. Yeah, Jack Nerrick, new world. New world, new dreams, new times, new memes. Primitive Hill. The Square Lakes. I swear to God, if it's around. Matched Waters. I know. Because you know we would just dump pee on them. It's like the first thing we would do is start dumping piss. This is like the most boring spot in the world, but really neat. It's like, it's a volcano on an island with nothing. It's Hawaii. So there is like these dunes here, but there's like no dwarves here. So I'd be scared about lack of migrants. I think this spot right here, one of the various lakes, I think is probably what we're gonna end up settling on. Yeah, secret evil lair, most definitely. That's like, that's definitely a Bond villain lair. I think we're probably going to settle over here in one of these lakes. The only real issue I have with settling over here in one of these lakes is there really isn't much going on. There is a Necro Tower, though, so there's fun to be had for sure. Alright, we'll just continue. A volcano with nothing around it? Yeah, it's called Hawaii. It's from Fez. You may have heard it on this stream before, Techneric. I am a diehard fan of the Fez soundtrack. The game itself can go away, but... So hopefully that helps you figure out where the music is from. Then we'll have to figure out which faction we're joining. Do we want to spend some time in Legends? Yes or no? What do you guys think? I'm kind of in two minds on that one, I'll be honest. Why would I judge you for listening to one of the better soundtracks made in the last, like, 20 years? The default Dwarf Fortress soundtrack is about 2 minutes long. Unless you're talking about the SoundSense one, in which case it's better, but still only about 2 hours long. Minecraft has an excellent soundtrack, actually. No, I don't, Jack Nurick. Over and over and over, yeah. No, you're like, that's one of the first things I recommend to people for Dwarf Fortress is turn the music off. I was watching Distracted Elf stream Dwarf Fortress a little bit, and she streamed like 6 days in a row, like 5 hours, 6 hours a day, and didn't turn off the default music. And I'm just sitting there going, how are you not going mad? Like, it's such a short loop. They're like arid forests, if that makes sense, like less thick forests. Desert and savanna is like the little speckles and tildes. You played Dwarf Fortress with the default music on? Really? And you haven't gone mad? Holy shit. I'm not sure exactly what the brown ones are. I will be completely blunt. Slowly chipping at your sanity? That's way too mythological for me. I can't handle that. I don't need philosophy from my Dwarf Fortress. I come to Dwarf Fortress to get a minor in geology and a minor in history, not a minor in philosophy, okay? You hardly notice the music? I disagree, but okay. It just echoes in my brain, and it's the only thing that I hear. But then again, I listened to the RimWorld soundtrack for about 2,000 hours. And that's only about 2.5 hours of music. I mean, you subscribed to me and then subscribed at a higher tier. Uh-oh, there we go. Let's see. How are we doing? We're at year 250. Let's take a peek around. Did any dwarves make it over here? No, but ooh, would you look at that? The dark pits the dark pits of Ulaxadusun. I think Ulaxausunan? I don't. I'm not Krugsmatch, okay? I can't pronounce this crap. This area up here is really cool, but there's no dwarves. Is there anything interesting over here yet? In fact, that fortress is still dead. There's that little spooky area over here. The little spooky area is kind of neat. But, yeah, no, these are just like different types of temperate forests, these yellow. And then the brown is deserts, yeah. So brown is like more deserty areas. There's a lot of deserts, actually. But savanna, so like just the flat deserts with nothing, are these guys. So these are like your tougher deserts. And then the red tildes are like absolutely nothing. Just dead, open. Our last fortress was, or not our last fortress, but the fortress before our last fortress was on ice. You can just straight up settle on up here if you want. Like just straight up in the middle of the permafrost. I'm triggering your Alexa? Alexa, play podcast. It's your fault for having an Alexa. I kind of like this idea down here. Like this area. There's plenty of dwarves up here in this kind of central zone. Try not to jerk the camera too much because it is kind of hard to see what's going on. I mean, my favorite one is to just start playing most recent podcast listened or... Does anybody else just like randomly shout out Alexa in people's houses to see if they're being recorded by an Amazon device? Or is that just me? Two cases of baked beans, that's just mean. Now baby oil, that's funny, but baked beans, nah. You deactivate Google and Siri? Ah, okay. Fair enough. The desert of tests. What is being tested? Meow. Clearly cat. So this is where like all of the dwarves are settled. Down here. There's a lot of dwarven activity. There's like a little insurgency of goblins. There's not a lot of goblin civilization going on here. Not a lot of purple. Just kind of like in the middle of this mountain range here where all the dwarves are settled. So are you... Did you have a good pub feed? Because you did say, and I quote, you got yeeted off the planet this weekend. Did you have a good pub feed? I trust it was a good pub feed. Because all you want and all you need is because all you need is a good pub feed. How's things, Baron? The problem with world generation is then I spend way too long just staring at it. There's a bitch ton of elves. Look at all these guys. All of these little tiny up arrows, these little cup symbols, these are all elves. There's a mega ton of elves. Holy God. Like, actually. Dwarf Fortress is indeed great. I'm glad we agree on that. Why is there two doors destroyed? Hold on a second, chat. I'm gonna give the cat some catnip so that he shuts the fuck up. I will be right back.
Cheese for everyone!
That too. Were you trying to sneak that one in while I was gone? Hey Alexa, order 15 pounds of catnip. 15 pounds, that's oddly specific. Why 15? So I kind of like the idea of settling on the outskirts of Dwarven civilization somewhere. I really, really wish, and I do mean I really, really wish, that this Dwarven civilization up here was bigger and there was actually stuff up here. Aside from just that Necro Tower. I also wish that there was some Dwarven civilization up here, because there's so many tombs and things. There's cool stuff up here. This would be a really fun spot up top for, This would be a really fun spot up top for, adventure mode. Got everything. I'm sorry, what? They can arrest you for having 15 pounds of catnip? Why? Actually, no. I think assuming it doesn't have our, assuming it doesn't have a, whatchamacallit, aquifer, we're starting on this lake. So let's accept the world. We're saving the world. The world has been genned.